A number of cryptocurrency businesses and platforms have been sued by the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC. Now, though, the sector is beginning to fight back, and companies are filing their own cases against the SEC. One very important point these companies are trying to make is that the rules are not clear, and they want to be pointed in a more specific way. They believe that instead of constantly facing court challenges, they should be given a clearer set of rules to follow based on what they know about the Ripple case and recent legal developments. While being interviewed on the Thinking Crypto podcast, Tesla was asked if she had seen anything similar happen in other areas. Her answer was that this is a very rare case. Surprisingly, the SEC has brought a lot of enforcement actions against the blockchain and financial technology industries. These actions have mostly been in places where there hasn't been enough regulatory guidance or rulemaking. As a result of the lack of clarity, the sector has reacted with strong opposition, and many people have gone so far as to sue the Securities and Exchange Commission. A number of other cases, such as CC Vera's, Ripple, and other similar lawsuits were also as they talked. The interviewer talked about how her company had worked with the Digital Chamber of Commerce to back Ripple in the cryptocurrency dispute by filing an amicus brief. Not long ago, Judge Torres decided that XRP is not a security by itself. This means that sales of XRP on the secondary market are not the same as deals involving securities. She said that the tokens themselves might not be stocks when asked the same question. So we're starting to watch the courts one by one and using some of the cases that were already there. It will also be interesting to see how this plays out in some of the other lawsuits that are currently being settled. After recent fights with officials around the world, Binance, the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, plans to spend a lot of money to make sure they follow all the rules. Binance Holdings wants to hire a total of 1,000 people this year, with a lot of those jobs being committed to compliance. Ripple will have to pay more to defend itself against the SEC case, and the company plans to spend even more than that. Binance will focus on following the rules as much as possible. A reporter from Bloomberg talked to Richard Tang, who is the CEO of Binance. During the interview, he talked about how the exchange hopes to hire people this year, as well as how to meet regulatory requirements. As he put it, "I've worked as an inspector my whole life." He agreed with the statement that government agencies are important because the Department of Justice and the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network of the U.S. Treasury keep an eye on them to make sure they follow the rules. Costs are going up for the business. The plea deal that was made with the DOJ and other agencies before. In the United States, there was a $4 billion fine for breaking money laundering laws and other compliance problems. It only cost $158 million to make sure that rules were followed 2 years ago. But now it costs over $200 million because monitors hired by U.S. government agencies, like Forensic Risk Alliance and Sullivan Cromwell, have already started their work. Richard Tang says the costs will keep going up. Binance's regulatory spending, which is expected to be much higher than Ripple Labs' net costs in the lawsuit against the SEC, is likely to be higher. Earlier, CEO Brad Garleyhouse said that the cost to defend the company against the SEC lawsuit was $200 million. When the company sold XRP to banks without following the rules for securities, the court ordered the company to pay $125 million in fines. Companies that work with cryptocurrencies have spent billions of dollars making sure they follow the rules and settle with the government. This is a big setback for the business, which is having a hard time right now, because the rules aren't clear and the regulatory authorities aren't giving clear instructions. Bitcoin has become one of the most popular candidates for president in the United States. Changpeng Zhixiao quit as CEO of Binance, which shows that people are optimistic about the job market for cryptocurrencies. Richard Tang has been working with prime brokers, making it harder for new cryptocurrencies to be listed and splitting off Binance Labs, the company's startup capital arm. As of the end of 2024, the company plans to have 700 people working in safety roles. They will keep fighting the claims that are part of the case that the SEC filed. Because of recent events, a judge has decided to let most of the cases against Binance and its co-founder CZ go forward. A number of Bitcoin companies, including Tether, have also said they want to hire more people. Paolo Arduino, CEO of Tether, said that the company wants to do more work, which was a sign that the market was recovering. Ripple has announced a great group of guests for its upcoming Ripple Swell 2024 event. These speakers are from a lot of different fields, such as payments, blockchain, and business. Some of the most famous people in the business will be at the event this year in Miami. It gives us great pleasure to present the amazing speakers for Ripple Swell 2024. Some of the most influential people in blockchain, fintech, and payments are coming together. For example, Brad Garleyhouse, the CEO of Ripple, has been at the forefront of the company's efforts to change the way international payments are made by using blockchain technology. People are very interested in what he has to say because of recent developments at Ripple in the SEC case, growth at the Ripple-linked stablecoin, and the company's plans for the future. In early August, Judge Torres lowered the Securities and Exchange Commission's claim by about 94% and told Ripple to pay a civil penalty of $125 million. This was a big step forward in the case between Ripple and the SEC. The disagreement, which had been going on for almost 4 years, was finally over. In a statement, Ripple's CEO called the decision a win for the company, the business, and the law. He also said that the CC should no longer be a problem for the whole XRP group. The secret beta launch of the Ripple USD stablecoin went well on both the XRP ledger and the Ethereum mainnet, which is yet another important step forward. Big names in the business, like Coinbase, will be speaking at the event. Ripple says that Philip Martin, who is the top security officer of Coinbase, will likely give a speech at the next Ripple Swell event. Sheila Bair will be at the event. Sheila Bair was first chair of the Systemic Risk Council and chair of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Since she was chair of the FDIC before, she is expected to bring a lot of knowledge to the table. Another person who is going to talk at the event is Superintendent Adrian Harris of the New York Department of Financial Services, NDFS. The information given is not meant to be taken as trade advice. Any purchases made based on the information on this page are not the responsibility of the people who made them. Before making any investment decisions, you should definitely do your own study and talk to a professional who knows what they're talking about.